friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to another book haul. It goes without saying, I haven't done yet another month where I have bought too many books. And, you know, again, I would say that I'm ashamed, but I'm not. I am living my best life. I am thriving, spending way too much money, but thriving nonetheless. So I just thought that I would share with you guys the books that I picked up this month. I think this time I'm gonna talk to you guys by genre. Sometimes I switch it up and do where I purchased them from, but this time we're gonna do genre. I have my biggest stack here, which is fantasy. I'm going to start with my smaller stacks and work my way up to fantasy this time. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these or if you're really excited for any of the books in today's haul. Let me know your thoughts. You know, I always love to chat with you guys down below. As well as, of course, let me know what you guys picked up in the month of April. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the books I hauled this month. Okay, the first book that we're going to do is a contemporary, and we have Home is Not a Country by Sophia Hello? I always butcher the last names, but this is what it looks like. I got drawn in by the cover of this book. I was at Target and I was shopping around and the cover just drew me right in. It's also quite a short book. I don't really know how to sum up this book, so I'm just going to read the little blurb on the back. It says, I imagine her, this other girl, bright and alive, and I ache to have been born her instead. So I really don't know. When you just realize that this book is actually poetry and not a novel. Go me. It's either poetry or told in verse, I'm not really sure, but this does look like it's going to be a really interesting book. I'm even more inclined to pick it up like ASAP since it is such a short book as well as it's poetry, so it shouldn't be too hard to get through. I'm having a tough time getting my words out today, so bear with me, I apologize, but I am really excited to give this one a go and hopefully I can get around to it soon. Okay, up next we have one retelling slash fantasy. I'm not really sure what I would categorize this as, but it's of course the beloved Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I am really excited to give this one a go. I have heard nothing but good things about this, and every single person that has read this book has said that it has broken their heart in one way or another and has left them sobbing at the end. And I'm just really excited to give this a go. I know that it is a retelling of the Iliad with Achilles and Patroclus, and it's their love story, and I just heard that it's just so beautiful, so well written, and just so wholesome, but also really heartbreaking. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things, and every single person that has read it has recommended that I read it as well. So hopefully I can get around to this one soon. All right, we have one sci-fi, and this is actually an ARC that I picked up at work. We don't sell them at the store, so when they come in, we can either take them home or we either recycle them or donate them. We just try not to get them. We try to sell them. That's like the most important thing. But right now I have Salvage. This is by Madeline Rowe. And I don't really know too much about the initial synopsis of this. I know that it kind of follows the same ideal of the Expanse series. James S.A. Corey's book, Leviathan Wakes. It has a girl who lives in space and she ends up in a position where she's now a space janitor and she has to go clean up these incidents that happen on spaceships, but there is a spaceship that has been deemed like basically inactive, and there was a group of people that got sick on this ship and she is now tasked with going to clean it up. But when she gets there, she finds a little bit more trouble than she had initially expected. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. I don't read a ton of sci-fi, but it's a short one, so I figured I would give it a go, and since it was an ARC that we were going to have to get out of the store anyways, I figured I would take it home. All right, the next two books I picked up because my therapist actually recommended that I watch two videos by these authors, and I ended up really liking their talks, so I went and picked up their books. One of the authors I heard a lot of, and then the other one not so much. But the first one I have is Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. She is very well known to be a very avid self-help individual that really delves deep into vulnerability, and that's something that I struggle with. And I think that, you know, talking about mental health is a touchy subject for some people, but I really try to be open about, you know, the things that I struggle with, and vulnerability is definitely one of them, and learning how to let go of the control that I like to have in life. And she talks about this quite a bit, and I watched that. It was a TED Talk talk that she did, and it was really, really nice and well done. So I figured I would pick up her book and give it a go, and hopefully I can get some insightful things out of this. The blurb here says, how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. So there's that. And the second nonfiction that I picked up is 10% Happier, How I Tamed the Voice in My Head, Reduced Stress Without Losing My Edge, and Found Self-Help That Actually Works. A true story by Dan Harris. He is an advocate for mindfulness meditation in, everyday life, everyday practice, learning to find usefulness in mindful meditation. And I do this already. It was something that my therapist had recommended for me, and after watching his TED Talk on mindfulness meditation, I found it really helpful. So I decided to pick up the book so that I can get a little bit more insight on that. And I picked this up used, so both of them were actually used, so it was perfect. All right, up next I have 3 middle grades to talk about. One of them I picked up at work, the other 2 I was given by Owlcrate. So I will go over the one I got at work and then quickly go over my Owlcrate one since I did those in a video. But the first one I have here is The Castle in the Mist by Amy Efron. This was going to get donated, so I decided to snag it up. It is a short little middle grade. I believe this has to do with a castle that may have some hidden secrets in it, as well as magic. So this little blurb down at the bottom says, Amy Efron conjures a magical fantasy world that blurs the lines between reality and imagination and makes readers wonder exactly what they wish for if wishes came true. So it just sounds like it's going to be a really cute mystery adventure fantasy, so I decided to pick it up. Up next are my 2 Owlcrate books. The official Owlcrate choice for the month of April was Cece Rios and the Desert of Souls by Kayla Rivera. This has to do with brujas and a crazy adventure that she goes on to really change the way that brujas are thought about and talked about, as well as there's an animal companion in here, which I believe is a wolf or a coyote of some sort. It just sounds like it's going to be a really cute middle grade adventure. I cannot talk. A cute middle grade adventure that I'm really excited for. So thank you to Owlcrate for handing this over to me, as well as Paula Santiago and the River of Tears by Taylor K. Mejia. This is supposed to be like a middle grade mystery thriller with a little hints of horror in there for a middle grade genre, and it has to do with a haunted river that Paula and her friends were told to stay away from years ago after somebody drowned and died in this river. But she decides that she's going to do what she was told not to do and go by the river and look at the stars, but she starts to see shadows and different things coming out of this river, and she thinks that maybe people that told her to stay away might be right, and she has to upend everything that she thought about and look at this from a fantasy and magic standpoint and less of a science standpoint. And it just sounds like it's going to be a really cute middle grade story that I'm excited to get around to. I'm not giving a ton of description for these just because I don't want to be here for 500 years talking about all the synopsis. I will give the synopsis if I know a little bit more. If not, we'll just breeze on past it. But up next we have romance. I kind of lumped in contemporary romance as well as adult romance in here just because I didn't feel like doing 2 categories. So this is just romance in general. The first one that we have here is The Geography of Lost Things by Jessica Brody. I am really excited to give this one a go. Jessica Brody is the author of The Chaos of Standing Still, and that was one of my favorite books of last year. I really enjoyed her writing, and I thought that the book was so well done and very sweet and just wholesome, but also very sad. And I believe this one is about Allie, who her estranged father leaves her a car that she has to go pick up. However, it is miles and miles away, so she decides to take this road trip, but she is stuck with going with her ex-boyfriend Nico on this road trip, and things divulge from there. I'm sure that their ex-relationship turned into a real relationship, and I'm really excited. It sounds like it's going to be cute, but also have some harder topics, especially with her familial ties, so I'm really excited to give this one a go. Okay, up next, I picked up a series by Sylvia Day. She is the author of one of my favorite romance series, which was the Crossfire series. So this is another erotic romance series that she has written. The first one is called Ask For It. That's this one. And then we have The Passion for the Game, and then A Passion for Him. All of her covers kind of look the same. They're very simple with always one main focal point on the cover. They're not the best aesthetically pleasing covers, but I do really like her writing style, and I have really liked her romances that I have read so far, so I'm really excited to give another series a go. I don't really know what this is about. The first book here says, nothing entices Marcus more than a primal hunger roused by his former fiancée, Elizabeth. It's been years since she jilted him for another man, but that only means that he has a lot of catching up to do, a lot of time to make up for, and he's going to enjoy every sweet moment. The same drive and passion that sent sent her into another man's arms is what brings Elizabeth back to Marcus. Her attraction to him is the one thing she fears, but she's run out of options. Resisting is impossible, but does she have the courage to surrender everything? So it sounds like it's going to be an interesting romance series, to say the least, and I'm excited to give it a go. Okay, up next we have, I don't know why I picked this up, but I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just like, why did I do this? And it's Foreplay by Maya Banks and Shayla Black. I believe this is a collection of two short story collections that have to do with a foursome. So yeah, that's pretty much all I know. Both of the stories do include a foursome, and I just, after reading the very first page, I think it was the first page, it started off smutty on page 1, and I was like, you know what, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to pick this up and have a fucking blast with it, and you know, it's going to be a great time. So that's what I did. I picked it up. I don't know when I'm going to get around to this, but when I'm looking for just a fun time, something to laugh at, then I will definitely pick this one up and give it a go. Okay, so the next two books are actually, one is less of a romance and more of a contemporary with a slight dash of romance, and then the second one is for sure a romance, but they're both by the same author in the same companion novel series, so I decided to pick them up. The first one being The Anti-Relationship Year. This is Katie Wismer's 4th book that she published in March. I didn't get my copy until April 1st, so that's why it's in this haul, but this is book 2 in the companion novel series, and the first one is The Anti-Virginity Pact. I already own this book, but she redid the covers for both, well, redid the cover for this book and did a new cover for this one, and so I wanted to get the new covers, so I bought the first book again. I loved the first book. I gave it a 5-star. I also really love this one. I actually beta read this one, so I haven't actually read the full finished copy, which I will be doing sometime soon, but I am really excited to give both of these a go again. I would love to reread this, and now that the audiobook is out for this one, I would love to listen to the audiobook, and same goes for this one. I want to listen to the audiobook of this one since I physically read it when I beta read it for Katie in December. So I'm really excited to reread both of these. Katie is such an amazing author. I've loved her books. I've read every single one of the books that she has published to date, and I am really excited to continue to watch her grow. She's also a booktuber. I have talked about her in so many videos. I will leave her down in the description box below if you want to go check her out, as well as check out her books. The Anti-Relationship Year is a story about two girls, Joe and Meredith, and they strike up a pact together it's called the Anti-Virginity Pact, and they decide that they are, by the end of their senior year, they're no longer going to be virgins. And this book definitely tackles a lot of things, and it has a ton of trigger warnings, so go into it with some caution. It's talked about bullying, sexual assault, questioning religion. Obviously, sex is talked about a lot in this book, so just go in there with some caution, but it was really fantastic, and I loved how it ended. And then this book actually follows Meredith's best friend, Joe, from the first book, and this is her new adult college romance experience, when you're flashing between timelines of then and now, her first year of college as well as her senior year of college, and how one relationship changed how she viewed her entire college experience, as well as dating. It's a friends to lovers romance. It's really sweet, really cute, and I'm really excited to reread both of these. All right, up next is another romance that I've already read and really, really enjoyed, and that is The Romance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. This is a book about Gavin, I believe his name is. Oh man, I just read this and I forgot his name. I'm terrible with names. But his name is Gavin, and Gavin finds out that his wife has been faking the big O for most of their marriage, and they are on the outs right now. They are on the verge of a divorce. But Gavin really wants to fight for his marriage, but Thea, who is his wife, has basically given up. And Gavin is a baseball player, and his buddies and his teammates have this book club that the first rule of book club is don't talk about book club, where they read romance novels to help them have successful relationships. So they bring him into the book club to help him fix his marriage, and that is what the book follows. This book was really sweet. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, my wrap-up will be coming just in a couple days, so stay tuned for that, but I really, really enjoyed it. All right, and the very last romance that we have is The Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. This is a male-male fake dating romance. It very much reminds me of Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and I'm really excited to give this one a go. This follows Luke, who is openly gay and is having trouble with his image. So he's looking for a nice, perfect boyfriend, for the perfect boyfriend material, and he decides to ask out Oliver, and they decide to fake date for one event together, but of course, faking it turns into real feelings, which turns into a real relationship, and I'm really excited to give this one a go. Clint from Reads just read this book recently and loved it, so I'm really excited to pick this one up ASAP. All right, the next section of books here I have are mystery, thriller, horror books that I'm excited to get to. The first one I have was actually gifted to me by Sharon. I will leave her Booktube channel down below if you want to go check her out, but thank you, Sharon, for gifting me She's Too Pretty to Burn. This was on my anticipated list of last year, and I'm really excited to get to it. I'm currently already in the middle of it. As you can see, I'm about 100 pages into this book, and I'm really enjoying it. This follows a Picture of Dorian Gray retelling, but it's also sapphic, so a female romance. But the little blurb in the very front cover of this book is what really made me want to pick it up. It's part of the synopsis, and it's the very last part of the synopsis here, and it says, 1 fire, 2 murders, 3 drowning bodies, 1 suspect, 1 stalker. This is a summer they won't survive. So after reading that little blurb, I was like, I need this like yesterday, and when Sharon gifted it to me, I was just so happy and excited. So thank you so much. I'm really excited to give this one a go, and hopefully I love it as much as she did. Okay, up next we have You by Caroline Kepnes. This came in used at the store, and I decided to pick it up and give it a go. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to get through this one, seeing as I tried to watch the show and it gave me a ton of anxiety, and so I had to stop watching it. But I am really excited to read the book. Hopefully I will enjoy it and get through it more than I did the show. It was just eerie to watch that character stalk this female character. So I'm nervous and apprehensive to read this, but I am really excited to give it a go. I've heard really good things about the book. Not so much about the second book, but I've heard really good things about the first book. This follows Joe, who is a regular, ordinary guy. He works at a bookstore, but he is a bit of a psychopath. And when a girl walks into the bookstore one day, he basically sets his sights on her and is infatuated with her and begins to stalk her. And you're actually reading this through, I think it's either second person or first person, I forget. But the entire book, you're reading it like as you did this and you did that. And so I'm really interested to see this, how this goes, since I've never read a book in that perspective. But I'm also really interested to see if I'm actually going to be able to get through it, because the anxiety that I felt watching this TV show was high. So we'll see. Okay, up next we have a horror book, but again, it was a arc that came into the store, so I snagged it up, and that is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. And I have no idea what this is about. I just picked it up because it was an arc, and I've heard good things about it. I believe that Kayla from Books and Lala read this one and really enjoyed it, so I've heard good things. Don't really know too much about the synopsis, and I'm kind of okay with not knowing. I kind of want to go into it a little bit blind and see how I do. I'm not a big horror reader, so if I can get to this soon, that would be great. If not, I'll get to it when I get to it, but I am really excited to give it a go. All right, we have 2 books in a series that I wanted to try. I had picked up this author's work a few months ago, a little bit, actually it was last year, but I didn't want to read a co-written book by the author. I wanted to read a book that was just written by this author. So I picked up 2 books in a series, and that is James Patterson. The first one is First to Die and Second Chance. This is a, I forget what the series is called, The Women's Murder Club, and it follows 4 women who are integral in the process of convicting murderers and killers. So we have like a judge, a homicide inspector, a medical examiner, maybe not a judge. I don't know. There's 4 women, and it follows their stories of catching killers. I believe right now this series goes up to 20, so lots of books in the series, but I am really excited to give them a go. I just wanted to give James Patterson a try, since he is very prolific and very well known in the mystery genre and very well known at the bookstore. So I wanted to give him a go, and that way I could talk to my customers about him. So that is my thoughts on that. All right, up next we have another 2 books in a series that are mystery series that I've heard really good things about, so I decided to give them a go. And the first one, of course, is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and then The Girl Who Played with Fire. This is by Stein Larson. I had saw Emily from Books with Emily Fox read the first book in the series and really enjoy it. I have not watched the TV show or read anything about the book, so I have actually no idea what the series follows, but I have heard really good things. Even though they are quite chunky books, I've heard that they are easy to fly through, really quick to read, and really gripping and compelling, so I'm really excited to give them a go. I believe that one of the volunteers that we have at the store, Laura, has read the series and enjoyed it, so I'm excited to give this one a go. Hopefully I like it. Don't know when I'll get to it, but I should definitely start picking up some more thrillers and mysteries soon, since I don't read a ton of them often, so that should be another goal for me this year. All right, and the very last mystery that I have, my sister actually gave this to me, and that is Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls by Lynn Wingardner. Oh man. But I have zero idea what this book is about. I was at her house dropping off some books for her to borrow from me, and she said that I could read this. I have literally no idea what this is about. This says, they say Delilah burned herself to death in her stepfather's stead. They said it was a suicide. So I have I'm guessing it's kind of giving me like 13 Reasons Why vibes. So we'll see. Hopefully I enjoy it. I don't know when I'm going to get to it again, but hopefully sometime soon. All right, now we're getting into the biggest genre that I have here, and that is fantasies. I'm going to start off with 2 books that should be no surprise to anyone because I have a problem, and that is I bought 2 more Sarah J. Maas books. Nothing new, but I thought I'd share it with you. I picked up another copy of House of Earth and Blood by, of course, Sarah J. Maas. I got the paperback this time. The floppiness of this paperback and the ability that I could just do that while I read, there was no way that I could pass it up, so I decided to pick up another copy. I was in Target, and they had it there for cheap, and I just couldn't walk away, so I did it. But it's so floppy, it's just beautiful, and I couldn't say no. And if you guys are new to my channel, this is my favorite book of all time, my favorite book of last year, and I just love Sarah J. Maas so much, so I bought another book. And then I decided that I wanted to collect the hardcovers of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, so I picked up the first book in hardcover. I wanted to go with the new covers. The only problem that I have is, for some reason, when they did A Court of Silver Flame, they decided to change the spine. So it's basically the same type of design on the front, except for I believe maybe the writing isn't a certain color, but the spines are colored, but not for Court of Silver Flame. I don't know why they keep changing it on me, and I want like a matching set, but I can't seem to find one that fits. So this is what we're going with. I will eventually decide that I need a second copy of A Court of Silver Flame so I can add it to my Sarah J. Maas shrine, because I now will own 2 copies of every single book by her. I know that it's a problem, but I just don't want to talk about it yet. Okay, thanks. But yeah, I got a second copy. I'm not going to talk about the synopsis of this. So many people have talked about it and read it, so I'm going to continue to collect these over the months, and hopefully I'll have a full set soon. All right, the next book that I have here is the Owlcrate book for April, and that was Witches Steeped in Gold by Senona Smart. I talked about this in my Owlcrate video, so if you want to hear more of a synopsis on this, feel free to check that out. It does sound like it's going to be very good. It is a revenge story, and I'm really excited to give it a go. But the thing that I love even more about this book is the dust jacket art on here. It is absolutely stunning. Hold on. Look at that art. Oh my gosh, I am in love with it. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. This was on my most anticipated list of the year for this year. So I'm really excited that Owlcrate has included it in one of their boxes. This is now the second book that has been in their boxes that was on my anticipated list of the year list. So really excited for that, and hopefully I can get to this ASAP. All right, and then the next book that I have here is a book that I believe that I heard Elle from Elliot Brooks talk about, and that is Fireborne by Rosaria Munda. I have heard really good things about this one. I believe it has to do with dragons, and it's a first book in a fantasy world. I have heard really, really good things about this one, and I'm hoping to get to it soon. I don't really remember the synopsis of this, but when I read the synopsis at Barnes & Noble, I was like, yeah, I need that. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. Okay, up next is a third book in a series that I absolutely love. The first book ended up in my favorites of the year list, and I'm really, really excited to get around to the third book. The second book was a bit of a disappointment for me, but I am excited, and I have high hopes for the third book, and that is The Serpent's Curse by Lisa Maxwell. This book is chunky as hell, but I am really, really excited to read it. I have really enjoyed the series as a whole so far. The first book follows, why can't I remember her name? Esta. I was going to say Nesta because I'm currently reading A Court of Silver Flame, so I got confused there. But Esta, she has the ability to push and pull time. So with her ability, she can stop and move through time. But with a artifact that she has found, she's also able to time travel, and her mentor is sent her on a task to time travel to the past to steal a book that she is hoping will bring down the Brink. And the Brink is a magical barrier that surrounds New York City that doesn't allow people with magical abilities to leave the city, and if they try, it kills them. And so she is on the hunt to try to find this book that will bring down the Brink, but there are so many twists and turns that come with this heist that she is now a part of, and so many things that just leave you asking more, wanting more, and it also has a really awesome magician character named Hart Darrigan, who is just so amazing. I love his character. These characters have a special place in my heart, and I'm really excited for book 3. Okay, another book that I have here that I'm actually really excited to own, and that is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. Crystal Sutherland was the group book pick for Spring Into Readathon this year, and it was just so awesome to get to talk to her about, now I can't think of the name. I'll put the picture on the screen. I cannot think of it right now, but a semi-definitive list of worst nightmares. And that book was so amazing, and I'm really excited to read another one of her books. This is a new release, and Crystal was kind enough to send us over some personalized little notes. So I have a little note from her that she sent me, as well as a signed book plate, which was really, really sweet. Oops, those fell. But a signed book plate from her that has a very special note. So I was just such a nice thing for her to do. She did not have to do that, but she did send them over, and I was just really, really thankful for that. This is a magical realism fantasy book that has to do with three sisters who up and disappear one day, and they come back a month later, and they are severely changed. They have black eyes and blonde hair, well, silver hair. Just go on about their lives as if nothing happened. They don't remember what happened to them when they were taken, but it is now one of the sisters' senior year of high school, and things start to get weird when one of her sisters is taken again, and they find out that this world might be asking more of them than they had originally thought. So it just sounds like it's going to be nice and creepy, and I'm really excited to give it a go. Okay, another book that was on my anticipated list of the year, and that is Wings of Ruin by J.L. I've heard really good things about this one, and I'm really excited to give this one a go. I believe this is written by a Black author. It is about Black female main character, and I'm really excited to give it a go. I believe this follows a girl who lives in the human world, but she is taken to this world where she just learns about the fact that there are gods and magical abilities and powers, but when both worlds are on the brink of disaster, she takes it upon herself to try to save both of her worlds. And in the human world, her sister still lives here, so she has a vested interest in both, and she really wants to see both of them survive. So it sounds really good. I'm really excited to give this one a go. I have heard really good things so far for the people that have read it, and I'm excited for it. The next one is a bit of a topic of contention for me because I am so grateful for Owlcrate for sending it over to me. However, I have heard that this author has gone through a bit of some scandal recently, and I'm not really sure where I stand, but I am going to haul it today, and that is Blessed Monsters by Emily A. Duncan. I don't really know the full extent of what's going on and the issues that she is creating. However, I do need to do some more research before I decide if I'm actually going to keep this book on my shelves. Thank you to Owlcrate for sending me the exclusive edition. I appreciate that. However, I don't want to keep an author that I don't feel comfortable supporting on my shelves, so I haven't decided fully, but when I first received this book, I was really excited about the series. This is the first book in the Wicked Saints series. I've heard that it's really good so far, but I, again, don't really know how I feel about that, so I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but I did haul it this month. All right, up next, we have another anticipated release, as well as another sequel to a series that I have really enjoyed, and that is Occulta. The first book is Nocturna, and I really, really enjoyed it. The first book follows Finn and I can't remember both of their names, but the male main character is I don't know why I'm acting like I can't look it up right here. Alfie. In the first book, Alfie's brother has passed away under mysterious circumstances, and Alfie is convinced that his brother is still alive, and so he is on the hunt to figure out ways to bring him back. And during that time, he ends up running into a very well-known thief in this world, and they end up in a very precarious situation where they have to save the world. This has a very interesting magic system that I have really, really enjoyed, as well as some really good intrigue and political intrigue going on in here as well. And I'm hoping a bit of a romance will start brewing between the characters, but we'll see. Maybe it's still platonic, but I really liked their characters together. I really enjoyed the series so far, and I'm really excited for book 2. All right, up next, I have another book, a part of a series that I haven't even started yet, but I keep picking them up, used at the bookstore whenever they come in, and that is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the series. I am collecting the ones with this particular spine on them, so every time I see them come in used, I snag them up. So this is book 5. I'm not going to talk about this series. Y'all already know the first series in the Mortal Instruments Shadowhunter world, so that's this. Moving on. We're coming to the end here. Another book that I have here that was gifted to me by Sharon, so thank you so much to Sharon. But she gifted me the 3rd book in the Blood and Ash series. I was going to say from Blood and Ash, but it's Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, The Crown of Gilded Bones. I'm really excited to get to book 3. I've read book 1. I still need to read book 2 and book 3, but I am really excited that she has gifted it to me. I didn't absolutely love book 1, but I am intrigued enough to pick up the rest of the books in the series. I like the characters so far. I think the storyline is great. I found it a bit predictable, but if you want to hear more of my thoughts, again, check out my wrap-up for April, because I read it in April. So hopefully I can get to book 2 and 3 relatively soon, but who knows? All right, the next book that I have here is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is the 2nd book in the Shadow and Bone series. I had meant to pick this up when I first read Shadow and Bone last month, but it was completely sold out due to the fact that the TV show was just about to air, so I finally got myself a copy. I will definitely be continuing on with the series as soon as I can, but I didn't love the first book, so I'm not super, excited to pick up book 2, but I definitely want to finish out the series, so whenever I get to it, but hopefully I can get to it sometime soon. And the last book that I'm going to haul is actually another Leigh Bardugo book, and that is Crooked Kingdom of course, by Lee Bardugo. The reason that I picked up this copy is because it has the red sprayed edges. This came in used at the bookstore. I actually bought Six of Crows with the black sprayed edges at the bookstore middle of last year, and I have been waiting for this edition to come in used for months now, and it finally came in, so I decided to snag it up. I have yet to read Six of Crows, but I really, really want to, since I really enjoyed, I meant Crooked Kingdom. I really enjoyed Six of Crows. I can't wait to get to Crooked Kingdom. I've heard nothing but good things. Kaz Brekker is daddy. Ew, I'm so sorry. And I really enjoyed the series as a whole, so I'm excited to give this book a go. Okay, that is the end of this video. It was a shit show. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you made it to the end, leave a yellow emoji. Why not? Anything yellow, leave it down in the comments below to let me know that you made it to the end of this video. Let me know if you have any thoughts about the books that I hauled today, if you're excited for any of these. Also, let me know what you hauled in the month of April. I would love to know as well. But that is the end of this video. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.